Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. So we have a couple different guitar parts going on a lot of the times and some harmony guitar work. But we're going to get to all of it just in case you have 4 guitar players at your disposal you can play with. But let's just start here with the opening line, which is dominated by a bass guitar, but there's also a guitar layer playing the same thing that the bass does. So we're going to learn that little melody too. All right, so it starts out with 2 power chords. Well, 1 power chord hit twice, 2 times. Nice and palm muting. You could be doing a lot of palm muting. By the way, if you're trying to play along with the recording, its pitch is like a 1/4 step sharp than standard tuning. So you're going to have to adjust, like with an electric tuner, to adjust to that. They just kind of did that back in the day. Sometimes it's because it's recorded analog, and when it's transferred to digital, it's a different tuning, or maybe it's for effect. But whatever is, if you want this to sound, play along with them and it sound right, you're gonna have to do that. But here we go. We're gonna have the power chord here, and then the open power chord. Let that ring, and then the melody line. So that's just 10, 9, 8, 7 on the high E string. And then 8, 7 on the B string. Right up and grab the 10th fret on the high E. Then 7, 6 on the G. All right, so you do that a little bit, and you continue doing the underneath it. All right, then we get to the main riff that I played at the beginning of the video. All right, so that's just a lot of palm muting going, starting with the low open power chord on the 6th string, then 3 and 5 here, 3 on the low E string, 5th fret on the A string, that power chord, then 1 fret lower, then 1 more fret down. So we have this. Do that again. All right, so that was done 3 times. The 4th time sounds like this. So we're gonna go the first time, which is open power chord, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then not muted the open power chord off the open A string. All right, and then you go through the pattern again. So that's 3 times, and on the 4th time, you're gonna do the same thing. When you're coming up, 0, 2, 3. This time though, you're going to hit the power chord built off the 2nd fret here on the A string. Alright, so you rotate back and forth between ending it with that power chord or this power chord. So alright, now on top of that, there's a guitar layer that's doing power chords an octave higher. So that power chord an octave higher is off this 2nd fret on the D, 4th fret on the G. And then you just move that up to the 5th fret, 4th, then the 3rd. So it's like, instead of going, you're doing this. All right, so if you have another guitar player playing with you, he can do that, and it just makes it sound even thicker. And then the 4th time through, you do the ascending version again, off the 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, and then that same open A power chord that's not muted that ended the first half of the main riff down here. And then you go through that same riff again. And end it with the second fret power chord as well. All right, so now we get to this little part. All right, so that is just, it's kind of it's just a repetitive lick. 12, 9 on the G string, then 11, then 12 on the D, 9 on the G, and 11 on the G. So we have this. And repeat. Now I'll kind of slightly palm mute that. All right, so underneath that we just have these power chords. In the 5th fret, I'm sorry, 3rd fret. And then you hit it again, kill it, back to the open power chord. Then the 3rd fret again. 3rd fret power chord off the 5th string, and then the open power chord off the A string. So we have this. That's going on underneath this little melody thing we just learned how to pick up there. All right, then we get to the probably the main riff that's actually in the song. It sounds like this. Little flub in there, sorry. So it's just going to be the low E string done 3 times, just palm muted, just downstrokes. Then the power chord off the 3rd fret on the 6th string. Same 3 muted notes. This time now the power chord off the 5th fret. Back to the 3 muted notes. Back to the power chord of the 3rd fret. Then jump over to the 1st fret off the A string, that power chord. And then the power chord off the 2nd fret on the 6th string. All together. All right, so now the second time through it, we start the same way. And when you hit this 3rd one there, you do 2 open palm mutes with it. And then end it with these 3 chords. 1st fret off the A string, 2nd fret off the low E, and the 1st fret. So all together, the whole thing. And just simply repeat that over and over again. Then we get back to that, the verse of the song is the same progression that was going on underneath it. All right, so then we go back to the same riff we just played. All right, then we get the little interlude section where we have some guitar harmonies here. This is the closest we're gonna have to a guitar solo. So if you're just wanting to play this by yourself, I'll play through it, just kind of combining the chords with the main melodic part. This is probably how you're going to want to play it if you just have one guitar. Here we go. All right, so that's kind of combining the little melodic part that Kirk Hammett would be doing with the rhythms that James Hetfield would be doing. And there's some harmonies going to be added to it in a little bit, in just a couple minutes. But first, let's just learn how to figure out this pattern? It's based off of just a 1-octave scale. So let's first get those notes underneath our fingers. 12, 11, 9 on the G string. Then 12, 11, 9 on the D. And then 12, 10 on the A string. So we have. So get those notes in your fingers real quick, and then it'll help you understand how to play this lick. Now the lick is basically based off, it's a sequence, so it's a pattern that goes throughout the scale. So what he does is he starts on the top note, and then he skips a note going down. So we skipped the 11th fret there on the G string, and skipped and went down to 9. All right, so that's the pattern. You're just skipping a note each time downwards. All right, now he's going to play that pattern again, but starting it from the very next note down in the scale, which is the 11th fret here on the G. And once again, we're going to skip the next tone down, so we're going to skip that 9th fret and just skip to the 12th fret on the D. So we have this. And then keep doing that. Now the note, that little pattern is going to be based off the 3rd note down in the scale. And it's done as soon as you get down to that last note, the 10. This is the low E power chord. Do it again. So that's just 3rd fret, and do some palm muting with it, and then back. And that resolves to the power chord built off the 2nd fret on the A string. All right, so then he starts repeating that. And the second time through this little interlude, some guitar harmonies start. One of them sounds like this. All right, and that part is basically repeated. So what's going on there is 9 on the D string, 12 on the A string. There's not such a pattern on this one. And then 11 on the D and 12 back on the A. Then that 11 again, this time coming back down to the 10th fret on the A string. Then hop up to the 12th fret, the D string on the 12th fret. 9, 11, then 12 on the A, 9 on the D, 10 on the A. So this harmony is not that important. It doesn't have much of a pattern to it, but it's not that big of a deal. What we are just doing is probably what you're going to be doing the entire time, but this is just for completeness sake. So we have. You just do that again with it. Just continue that. All right, now there's one other phrase that comes in on top of all of this, kind of the 4th guitar part. And just to understand where this comes in, if you're coming from that original lick we did, that's when it comes in. The lick itself is just 7, 8, 9, 7 on the high E, 8 on the B, 9 on the G, 10 on the B, 7, 8, so we have this. And resolve it on the 7th fret there on the high E. Then you do it again, and come back down and resolve it on the 8th fret on the B string. All right, and then it's the same way as the first time, the 3rd time through it. So we have this. All right, so that lick, just remember where to come in with it. So that was kind of placing where it's at, so you'll know where it's at. All right, then we have one final part of the song, the outro. Sounds like this. All right, so that's starting with the low open E string, 7th fret on the A, 9th fret on the D. that big power chord, then come up to the 9th fret here, just move that power chord shape up 2 frets, and just hit those 2 strings together, back down to the big power chord, the low E string in it, then back up to the 9th fret power chord, hit that twice, then up to 10th fret twice. Alright, so that's just the final riff. There's a lot of guitar stuff like noises and whammy bar and just effects over it. It's kind of unrecreatable and stuff, so just do whatever you want there. He does live, he just does a lot of bar dives and all that stuff. So that's pretty much it for it. It's got some interesting little picking patterns that you can work on. It's a good workout, and it's got some really good palm muting and power chord workouts. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I'll see you again soon for guitarlessons365.com. Bye-bye.